What's
going on, everybody?
What is
Back
happening,
with
folks?
another week of Huddle Talk.
Hope everybody's doing well. Is a pretty excellent day today for baseball fans with the lockout being ended today. Uh, some we'll jump right into it. With some interesting stuff. Happening. That came about quick. It's interesting, some of the things that they, were. It's hard to understand some of the stuff that they were actually fighting over when you think about some of the things that, you know, uh, that were agreed to. And it's funny, but they said, the final proposal, which was, today, that it was only approved by it says a 26-12 vote by the Players Association's executive subcommittee and team representatives. So there were 12 out of 38 people that they wanted to vote that weren't too happy with with this whole settlement. There's 12. Now I don't know how the 38 is made up. I'm assuming it's probably one for eight. Hold on, folks. We got dogs going crazy for no reason. They bark at us. So I'm assuming, you had what? There's 30 teams in baseball. So each team gets an executive, then a team representative. Then there are, I guess, 8 members of the committee. So 12 were not happy. And from what I heard, I think 2 of those 12 were New York Mets players. I think we have Max Scherzer, who is part of the executive committee, and then the team representative, I believe, went ahead and voted no. And they voted no because of the new luxury tax stuff that's getting put in. Overall, what did you think of some of the things that were in the settlement, Mike? Are you on mute? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
What's going on, Matt? What's going on, Bogarts? I didn't look at any of the detailed stuff. I didn't really care. I saw baseball's back, and that's good enough for me.
So, very, very interesting. So some of the things, was actually the universal DH. So then was part of it, which the National League, agreed to, which I guess makes sense from that standpoint. 12-team postseason, which is interesting. I mean, that's a good amount over there. There were a couple other things that was interesting that they agreed on, that every team will play every other team each year starting 2023 with fewer series against division rivals. So, I mean, I don't know if I like that part. I think one of the things the owners liked a lot was that this it's in there that they can put in a pitch clock, they can put in bigger bags, and they could put a ban on certain defensive shifts as soon as 2023. And that's something that, that they wanted. Again, I don't understand, how much they think that is going to speed the game up in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the whole thing. So, I'm not exactly sure. What do you think about those things, Mike?
I mean, I don't get the bigger bases. I guess that's probably just some safety stuff.
Yep.
The shift, I mean, I don't really care about the shift. It is what it is.
Yeah. Pitch count, pitch clock.
Um, I don't like that because I think that's just gonna. I don't think that's really gonna do anything.
Yeah, for me, I don't I don't understand what the pitch clock is going to do. I mean, they said that they did studies in minor league baseball that it shaved, 20 minutes off of games. And I don't know. I mean, I guess that's okay. I mean, are you really going to notice 20 minutes if a game's going 3 hours? If games were going 3 hours and 20 minutes and now they're going 3 hours, I mean, you really going to notice, 20 minutes? I mean, as long as it doesn't ruin the game and everything, I mean, uh, you know, that's, I care about. Um, but there was some other interesting stuff. With them, agreeing today, they will have a full 162 game season. So it will be a full season. What they agreed is all the series that were canceled or delayed, whatever language they're using, will be made up as double headers, and they are going to add 3 days on to the end of the season. Which, speaking of double headers, there'll be real double headers now. It won't be this 7 inning crap. We won't have that. We'll actually have, real double headers being played, which is excellent. And the other thing is, in the extra innings, they're going to stop that runner going on base. Well, they would call it a ghost runner. Well, I don't know how you call it a ghost
California
runner
rule.
because the guy's standing there. But adding that runner, some of those like international softball rules.
It's called the California rule.
Huh?
It's called the California rule.
All right, so the California rule. So they got rid of that, which is really good. Really, 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 really good. Um, they're doing the draft lottery thing, which I mean, to me, you know, baseball draft picks are probably the ones that, are the least to go ahead and hit, than any other league. I mean, maybe hockey. I mean, because you have so many. I mean, if they were going to shorten the draft, I could understand you doing a draft lottery, but yeah, they think it's going to stop tanking and that kind of stuff. And I don't know. You know, I don't know. Because teams will still go ahead and look at signability of a player and stuff like that when they're doing drafting, and that's not going to change anything.
A lot of football news this week.
Oh yeah. What?
Yeah, you didn't see any of it?
Nope.
Really? Aaron's staying in Green Bay. Russ is going to the Broncos. Wentz is going to the Commanders. Khalil Mack's going to the Chargers. Wentz
Yeah.
is gone.
Wentz is gone, which Matt, that's very interesting with the Colts, which you could kind of see if they were, let's say, in like a San Francisco type thing where they're willing to let, a guy go and not get anything because you have, a backup or something like that. But I just don't understand, what the deal is. I mean, who are they going to go after? Are they going to
Jimmy
go
G.
after, Jimmy G? I I mean, is Jimmy G a better option than Wentz?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Jimmy G's a winner. When you give him an O-line and weapons, he's a winner. When you give Carson Wentz own O-line and weapons, he still messes it up somehow.
No, he got hurt. He got hurt. He went ahead and he sprained 2 ankles and was still able to go ahead. The bad part about that was, is that I give the Colts credit for, even when he was injured, of putting him out there, knowing that on that roster he was their best chance at that position, when they could have figured out a way to, finagle his playing time to where that clause in the contract, would not have kicked in. You know. So Matt says it's crazy because Darius Leonard is going into his 5th year with 5th starting quarterbacks. Wentz had issues with players and coaches, from what I'm hearing. Well, yeah, being a bad locker room guy is one way to get you out. Out of a situation, no matter how good it is. They're a very interesting team. Very interesting team. Bogarts, hey, what is Green Bay going to do with Love? I'm going to tell you now, I don't think they're going to do anything with him. How long did Aaron Rodgers sit behind Brett Favre?
I don't know.
He was there for, 4 years or so. I think the interesting thing is going to be, as Love gets, further along, like, I don't know what the contract is for Rodgers. You don't know, is it a team friendly one where, if in 2 years they decide, hey, you know what, it's best if we move on, they could move on without any kind of issues, and Love could be there. The big thing is, the way these contracts go right now, you look at a guy like Love, who was a 1st round pick, so they do have that 5th year option on him. Is what do they do there? You figure the first 4 years, you don't got to do nothing. He's got to, what his salary is going to be, so on and so forth. The problem is what do you do as you move further? What happens when you get to that 5th year? Yeah, he got 4 years. Yeah. Also, Rodgers got 4 years. Well, that's going to be interesting. I honestly don't really have. I don't know what they could. What could they do and everything. Maddie says, you heard Garoppolo, Carr, Love, Trubisky to the Colts. Who knows? I heard Trubisky may go to the Giants because he really likes the coach there, who was in Buffalo, and he had a great relationship with him. And the GM of the Giants was the guy who was in Buffalo, so he's sticking around there. I'm thinking about, going there for that. So I don't know. Trubisky and Love and Garoppolo, those 3 you could kind of sort of see because they got people in place that want to take over them. The Derek Carr one, you hear so much about that dude, and I don't know. I don't know, Bogarts. That's what I mean. If Derek Carr leaves, who are they going to go with? I guess you could look at, Teddy Bridgewater's out there too, if you think Teddy Bridgewater's halfway decent, right?
They still have Marcus Mariota as their backup.
Yeah, they do have Marcus Mariota as their backup, but are you gonna, put, I guess the idea is you look at who their head coach is, and what, for his coaching style, what he's going to want to do. Is Mariota a better option than Carr? Because when you look at what Josh Daniels did, when he had that guy who didn't move around that much, who really, when he had Tom Brady, when he had Mac Jones, he really didn't, look what he did when he had Cam Newton, a guy who moved around a lot. I mean, not that, but now I don't think you can compare exactly quarterback wise that you can compare those two together. You compare Cam Newton versus, Marcus Mariota. Um, but I just don't know what, if you're the Raiders, are you ready to pass, get rid of Carr and hand it over to Mariota? I mean, a guy who hasn't played that much in what, 3 years? For a guy who has really put up some pretty darn, good numbers. I mean, you know, if you look at let's see here. Let's take a quick look. Carr is not bad. I mean, if you go to, if you look at overall, when you look at Carr's stats. Shut up, Max. I mean, you're looking at Carr the last 4 years, 4,000 yards, 4,100 yards, and then this year 4,800 yards. 66%, 68, 67, 70, 68. Those are his pass completions. I mean, you're going to trade that for Mariota? I just don't. I don't understand. I mean, I guess
Well, they kind of need receivers now, so.
Well, yeah, you need receivers. I guess if you're gonna get a bunch of good stuff, but does Indianapolis? They don't have first round picks to give up, right? Didn't they give them up to get Wentz? I mean, Mariota in 2019 played 7 games, 1,200 yards. In 2020, 1 game, 262 yards. They used him. They threw him on the field somehow in 2021 for 10 games, but he had one pass. Well, he had one completion. He attempted 2 passes for 4 yards. I mean, he rushed for 13 yards 13 times in 2021. I just don't know how you turn the franchise over to him, because I don't know what you could get from Indiana. Not saying if you can take Carr and turn him into some first round picks and some second round picks, then I think, okay, you got to do that. You could shore up, you could draft wide receivers and that kind of stuff. But I don't think you're going to do that with Indianapolis. And Indianapolis has to look and see, I think from a standpoint, if they look at, let's say, Garoppolo, if they want a veteran, they don't want to go with Trubisky, because they don't know. They don't want to go with Love. Let's say it came down to Carr and Garoppolo. They have to look and see, okay, where am I? Where am I? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Welcome, sir. Speaking of one man, oh really? There's someone who's been wanting Mariota to take over for Carr. Very interesting. Looking at the numbers, I find that interesting. When you look at the numbers, and you had a guy who threw for 4,800 yards last year, and you want to replace that. I'm not saying, I just don't know what Mariota brings extra. I can see getting rid of David Carr if you can get good stuff coming back. Now, let's say you could take Carr and trade him to Seattle and get DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, then yeah, I think you could do that. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint, I just don't know what you get from him. If you trade him, you trade him to Indianapolis. Who's Indianapolis going to give up? Is Indianapolis going to give up Michael Pittman Jr.? if you're talking, you're saying you want a wide receiver back. I don't know. I don't know. Hello, Zach. How are you doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Yes, very happy that we'll be having a baseball season. You know. Um, the football stuff. What else there? Bogart said Frank Clark and Tyrann Mathieu may leave the Chiefs. Yeah, that's big. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen. DK. I mean, you got to figure, what, DK Metcalf. I think he's in the last year of his contract, or he only has 1 year left. He ain't going to want to stick around there. As a Jet fan, I must say, I feel really, really bad for Jamal Adams because Jamal didn't want to go through a rebuild with the New York. Oh, sorry, Jamal, not working out for you the way you thought it. Legion of Boo, not the Legion of Boom anymore over there. Sorry.
I wouldn't mind seeing that number 10 pick getting moved over there for DK.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you can sign DK to a long term. I mean, if you can't sign him, then that's not a good pick. That's not a good thing. I would say to them, hey, you know what? We'll offer you the number 10 pick if you'll let us negotiate with DK and see if we could, and see if they could lock him up in a 4 or 5 year deal. Oh, that, Matt. DK has got to be. Well, him. And don't forget, hey, Bobby Wagner. They let Bobby Wagner go. They cut Bobby Wagner. Bogarts, there's a guy for you, Bobby Wagner. That can.
It'd be nice to see Bobby Wagner and CJ Mosley line up together.
It would be. It would be. Yeah. Khalil Mack is going. That's an interesting one, man. I mean, the crying out loud, the AFC West. Holy cow! Yeah, but I gotta tell you, yeah, Zach, it was going to be tough no matter what. But I'm going to tell you something. It's funny. Somebody posted something on Twitter, I think it was, and it goes to show you how screwy the NFL is. You get someone like Ray Rice who is on tape beating the crap out of his girlfriend or his wife at that point, whatever she was, and he got what, 4 or 5 games, maybe 6 games. Ezekiel Elliott did crap. He got minimal games, all this kind of stuff. And Ridley, who was out for the year, not participating, goes on DraftKings and bets on football, and he gets a full year. I'm not saying the guy shouldn't have gotten something, but I don't know. To me, that's a little excessive there. It's not like he was actually playing where he could affect the outcome. The guy was out completely. So I don't. It's not right. And I understand it, but that's it's a little crazy that he gets a full year. But like I said, those other guys who did those bad things, who beat up women and stuff, they still get to play during the season at some point in time. So I don't know about that one. That one's tough. Mike says he's surprised the Bears only got a 2nd and a 6th. Yeah, I was. Say that again, Mike.
You can pin them like this.
Yeah, I know. So could you.
Well, you started reading it, so you could have just.
Yeah. So I understand. I'm surprised, but then Mac's 31 years old. The only time he had double-digit sacks is that first year he got to Chicago. So his sacks numbers have gone down and everything. But hey man, being now now you're going to be playing with Joey Bosa on the other side. Man, it's who knows what that could do for him. That could really that can help him out a lot. That's one thing. You see these guys go, they get big numbers and stuff, and when all defensive linemen are there, and all of a sudden They're able to put up big numbers because they can't just double team them all the time. But if all of a sudden, like Greg Lloyd left and some other guys left, then you can double team him. So now you put him on a line with another stud. It opens up for him. But I mean, the AFC West just keeps making move after move after move.
Yeah.
You know, AFC West is going to be one hell of a division. I think that's what makes it hard. So as a Raiders fan, I understand you want to see Mariota start over Carr. I hope Marcus is up to the challenge because Marcus Mariota is the fourth best quarterback in there, and actually David Carr might be the fourth best quarterback too. But so the Raiders overall could have the fourth best quarterback, which is going to be tough. Sorry, folks. All of us talking, getting a little dry. So it's going to be interesting. What happens over the next, you're looking at so many players that can, be let go. There's talk of Dallas letting Amari Cooper go free. There's some other names out there, but I tell you, the whole Wilson and Rodgers thing, now you wonder, what is Pittsburgh looking at for a QB? What is Indianapolis looking at for a QB? Those are, especially Pittsburgh. I mean, you're talking about a team who is they're not, they don't rebuild. They don't rebuild Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh goes ahead and they battle each year. Now, I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see where they go.
Deshaun Watson.
You know what, Mike? There's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And
it came out that his charges might get dropped or cleared up. So why not on Deshaun?
Yeah.
So why not pair him up with Najee, Pat, Chase, and Juju?
I think it's a great. I mean, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're not concerned about Watson's baggage, because you don't know how much, I mean, it's gonna be out there, right? So it is what it is. But when you look at how he, at his age, what he is and how dynamic he is, and then you look at the wide receivers they have, the running backs they have, I mean, he'd be an absolute perfect fit for that team. I mean, he takes them and he makes them, I mean, he really, raises the bar for Pittsburgh.
I think he either goes to the Colts, the Steelers, or follows his mentor's footsteps and goes to Tampa Bay.
That's true. You have Tampa Bay that needs a quarterback also.
Let Jimmy G follow TB.
That would be a very interesting one. That would be very, very interesting if Jimmy G goes there. Very, very interesting. I mean, yeah. Didn't even think about Tampa. I kind of forgot about Tampa completely about needing a quarterback. But they're another one that needs a quarterback.
I mean, the Saints kind of need one too.
Huh?
The Saints kind of need one as well.
Well, are the Saints gonna, I mean, I'm assuming that they will give Jameis Winston another shot, but I mean, you don't know, and it all depends on the new coach. Does he,
Yeah.
how he feels about him?
Texans need one. Atlanta's eventually going to need one.
Who?
Atlanta.
Yeah. Think Jimmy G's who the coach is set on. They definitely have the money now. 72 million. Wow. Wow. That is a crap ton of money. Holy cow. 72 million. Hey, Matt, Mike's a fan. Mike is a fan. It's definitely interesting.
The
Definitely an
Jets got like
interesting take.
50 million in cap space.
Who?
The Jets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all depends on. I mean, I don't know. I don't know I don't know what their plan is. I'm still not. I mean, I don't know. I would really love to see them at 4. I would just hope that one of those nasty defensive ends is available. A lot of people are saying the safety though, Hamilton is a great. It's not a position that you would think of taking that high in the draft, but people are saying that that dude is a leader and a game changer. I don't know. I haven't really looked into him, so the draft is going to be interesting. I mean, if you're Jacksonville and you let one of those top offensive linemen go, okay, now that's just mean, Mike. No, man, Gino QB1 in Seattle. If you're Jacksonville and you let one of those two big offensive linemen go to get a defensive end, don't feel bad when Trevor gets hurt from getting killed. That's why they're thinking one of those guys can fall to 4 because they think that, um, 2 offensive linemen can go in the top 3. I don't know what the draft order is. But it can. What do we have here? Let's see. We're about to draft. See if they have the order. I forgot what it was. Dang it. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. Never mind. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. The Jets have cap space. They have two picks. I could see them definitely doing something with the 10th pick.
I mean, Trevor only got sacked 32 times last year. So, I mean, their offensive line isn't horrible.
No, I guess not. Not at 32. Did he play all 16 games? All 17 games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then maybe they don't. Maybe they decide to take one of the defensive ends. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the Jets are thinking that one of those 2 defensive ends are going to be there and both of them are off the board, what they do at that spot. Do they consider trading out of that spot?
I don't know.
do they consider, trying to stack up some picks? If there was a stud quarterback in the draft, that would help a lot. But I don't think we have a stud quarterback in the draft. Because you got to figure when you look at it, you have Jacksonville doesn't need a quarterback. Wow. So a mock draft on the Sporting News has the Lions taking Kyle Hamilton at 2. They had Jacksonville taking Hutchinson, Lions taking Hamilton, the Texans taking the offensive tackle from Neal, which would leave the Oregon Duckman, Thibodeau, if that's how you say, or Thibodeau, I'm not sure how you say his last name, at number 4 to the Jets, which would be freaking awesome. What I find interesting is that the Malik Willis, the quarterback from Liberty, has skyrocketed up and what they're looking at mock drafts. I mean, they're talking about Seattle because Seattle. Oh, you don't need. That's right. With this pick, Seattle may not be willing to give up DK for the number 10th because Seattle actually moved ahead of the Jets with the Denver trade. Seattle has the 9th pick. So, dang it. Okay. Well, that changes the idea of potentially getting DK with that trade. Because now, would Seattle be willing to do that to have another first round pick, have 9 and 10? And they may decide that would be good. But yeah, Matty, injuries are going to be big. I mean, there's not a lot of quality backup quarterbacks out there. Thibodeau, thank you, sir. I didn't know he had an odd combine. I didn't know there something happened with him. Thibodeau. I'll have to learn that. Hopefully it'll be easy. Hopefully that we'll be cheering that name next year. Yeah, Matt, you make a good point. Quarterback injuries, when you look at it across the board, there's not a lot of quality backup quarterbacks out there. They're just not. I mean, when we think about it, the Raiders may have the best one in Mariota right now. I mean, what other team has a guy like that as their backup quarterback? I mean, I think they're the only one that I know of. I mean, going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. But the draft should be fun. To see who's around, who gets picked at everything. It stinks for now. A lot of people are thinking that Pittsburgh may take the Pittsburgh kid in the draft if he's there. But then there are some people who think that he may not be worth it. May not be worth it. So.
Oh, that quarterback?
What? Kelly Pritchard, I think his name is. Or Pickett or Pinkett. Perkett. What the hell is his name? I don't know what his name is. Can't believe that Malik Willis may move up that far. Oh, no, actually, I have the Saints taking him at 18, Kenny
Pickett.
Pickett. And then maybe Pittsburgh taking Desmond Ridder, the quarterback out of Cincinnati. You know, yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh went ahead and, being in love with Ben so much kind of hurt them in the long run. It definitely went ahead and it caused them some issues. They could have gone ahead and, potentially thought about some different things with him, but they decided against it, and it may come back to bite them in the butt. But the kid from Cincinnati, according to the thing, he's he kind of sounds like a Deshaun Watson type when they're saying, athletic, good arm, all that kind of stuff. But man, if you can talk to Houston and with that pick, if you can take that pick and a bunch of other stuff, and you can get Deshaun Watson over Ridder, you definitely want to go there because you rather have the guy who's kind of proven versus a first year young quarterback, especially when you have the defense and you have the offensive weapons that Pittsburgh has, which is more of a win now type thing than, hey, let's develop a young quarterback over the next 3 or 4 years. So Mike, hey, have you any interesting pickups over the last week from sports cards?
I would have to go into the other room to grab them because I don't keep my card collection in my room.
Oh.
But just more stuff for my Michael Chavis Panini Prism Rainbow. What else? Look at my eBay history.
I have a couple that I could show to peoples.
Oh, another Rodrigo for that Rainbow, the 2020 Select. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Mike, I think the problem you have with Pittsburgh is that team is always going to find a way to win enough games to put them into, at worst case scenario, middle of the draft. I just don't, when you look at the talent that they have, I don't see how they are a team that is going to all of a sudden end up with a top 3 pick and be able to get, a stud quarterback. I think that's the issue you have with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had opportunities the last couple of years when they could have used the first round draft pick, on a quarterback, some of these younger guys to take a chance on, and they didn't. But the problem is that they would have had to take that chance. Imagine if, I don't, think about it, the Ravens traded back in to get Lamar Jackson into the first round. What happened if Pittsburgh at around that point would have taken him? Now, not saying that, who knows? Maybe, you convinced Ben to retire, 2 years ago rather than this year. And you end up with a guy like Lamar Jackson. I think that's the problem you have is where Pittsburgh drafts, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, So, but I think that's the problem. That's the bad part you have. Pittsburgh needs help. Yeah, they got to figure out what to do there at quarterback. I think they are just a quarterback away. They have plenty of young talent. When you look at Claypool and Juju and what's the other? Was it Jackson or Johnson, the other wide receiver? You got Freiermuth as a tight end. You have Najee Harris as a running back, and they have somebody else also. I mean, they're good there. Their offensive line took massive hit this past year with retirements and guys, leaving. So, hopefully, those guys have another year underneath their belt playing together. They can be better. I mean, you already know what you got on the defensive side. You know, you're right, Bogarts. You put Carr on Pittsburgh, man. That's a really good team. Yeah, or like we were talking about Watson. I think if you're Pittsburgh, if you can use that pick that they have and some other stuff, you have 3 wide receivers. Maybe you take that first round pick, hell, even your second round pick, and one of those wide receivers, maybe that's enough to get a Derek Carr. Maybe that's enough to get a Deshaun Watson. Houston at that pick, they can take a quarterback right there. If they can take the young quarterback and have a young wide receiver and another draft pick. So it's interesting. Pittsburgh is in a very interesting spot in that you look at that division they're in. Also, you have Lamar Jackson and you have Baltimore. Excellent team. Look what Cincinnati just did. I mean, their saving grace is Cleveland, because even though Cleveland has unbelievable talent, they still haven't figured out a way to put it all together. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting as football goes along. But getting back to not to change, but not to change, but to change. I think what's going to be really interesting is what MLB guys are going to be starting to sign here real soon. Free agency is open. Trading is open. What happens now? Hey, hobbyist, how you doing? What happens now? Where does Freddie Freeman go? Where does Trevor Story go? Where does Carlos Correa go? Bogart's going back to football. Where does McCaffrey go? I don't think McCaffrey goes anywhere right now, to be honest. I think he stays. I heard Freeman leaves. All indications are Freeman will be leaving. And from what I heard, it is down to 2 teams. One is the Dodgers and one is the New York Mets. The New York Mets are willing to go ahead and give him and let him play first base and have Pete Alonso become the full-time, be the DH. I've heard it's those 2 teams. Haven't heard anything about Trevor Story. Carlos Correa, I heard that the Cubs are interested, Matt, if Matt's still in the house. I also heard Baltimore is interested in Correa. Those are the big 3. I'm sorry, and you also have Chris Bryant. Forgot him, the big 4. I can see the Mets potentially getting either Bryant or Freeman. If I had to choose, I'd rather have Freeman, but because he's a lefty bat. And I think it would be nice to have, that good, lefty, righty, lefty between Lindor, Alonso, and Freeman. Yeah, I don't think Correa is going to go back to Houston. I think he's going to. I think he's going to leave. He's going to leave also. But I like the idea of Chris Bryant going to the Mets because he gives you that Swiss Army knife who could play a lot of positions. You can plug him in at third. He could be your everyday third baseman. If you need him in the outfield, he can run out there for you. You know. Yeah. If any of those go to the Dodgers, they become really good. Yes. And well, the funny thing is if none of them go to the Dodgers are still really good. you know? So,
You wanted to show your pickups?
sure. So, I picked up a where the heck is my other one? I picked up a couple of I thought I had them right here. I thought I had them super close, but I obviously do not. Maybe I haven't gotten it yet. So I've been looking at some Poku cards. And I guess because I live in Atlanta, the last guy threw in a couple of extras, which actually weren't that bad. He threw in a DeAndre Hunter, which isn't that bad. Actually this card I like almost better than the Poku card. It's a Spud Webb Prism Jam Master. So that's pretty cool. But I did pick up the red, white, and blue premier level of Poku. Then Match Midwest. I picked up a Pat McAfee. Dual Threats. And then I picked up a hockey card. It's his rookie card of my favorite Islander, Mr. Chara. And I don't know, it's SP and it is numbered at a 9,500, which is not that not that great. Thanks, Maddie. And then and then I picked up a card of my favorite baseball player of all time. I picked up an autograph card of Fred Lynn. It's actually numbered also. It's a legendary and it flawless, and it is 3 out of 10. So those were that. This is what came in. Came in last week.
Very nice
for me. Yeah, Bogarts. He's 5'3". Yeah, that Spud Webb is pretty cool. Let's see. Let's catch back up. Yeah, all those bats. Man, I wonder if Freeman leaves. If Freeman, who plays first? I think they could trade for Matt Olson of Oakland. He is from Parkview, Magma Alma Amata. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, thanks, Bogarts. I like that. Yeah, that's a cool autograph. I think that's my fourth one that I have of Fred Lynn now. He was very underrated because he played with reckless abandon, and it didn't help his career at all. Yeah, Oakland, from what I heard, wants to trade Olson, and who's the other guy they got?
Chapman.
That they potentially want to trade both of those guys. And to catch up with the chat, yes, Spud Webb. Again, yeah, Spud Webb was, I believe, 5'3", 5'3", and he could dunk, or 5'4". Geez, thanks a lot, Matt. Man, we're idiots. We forgot about that whole dang thing, man.
No, I was gonna say when we wrapped up.
Oh, what do you say it now? Talk about it right now.
Like Matt said, there we have a mainly mosaic basketball break going on eBay. It ends Saturday afternoon. We'll be live again Saturday night at 9 p.m. breaking it, ripping it for you guys. All teams started at $4.99. There's about 10 that already have bids on them, so they're a little bit higher. $5 shipping, $1.50 shipping for every other team you get. How many boxes is it total? 7?
It's a six boxes and 2, fat packs. So you're talking, I mean, you get pink camo, you can get Genesis. I mean, guys, right now, the Charlotte Hornets, you can get a LaMelo Ball. You might be able to get a pink camo. You might be able to get a Genesis LaMelo Ball, a green Prism. Right now, Charlotte, $4.99. $4.99. Minnesota, get the Ant-Man.
There's everything included.
Yeah. And you get an NBA hoops this year, so you could get the guys from this year. You can get Cade Cunningham and Suggs and Jalen Green and stuff like that. But the next break is basketball, and more than likely, it's definitely going to have 2 hobby boxes, maybe 3 hobby boxes plus a bunch of blasters. I'm still trying to get that one product. I meant to stop by the LCS today, but I forgot. So I have to try and go by that tomorrow and see if I can get it. But that baseball, the next one, baseball, you're probably looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe a 10 box break or something like that. So, so so you get ready for that one. We have to pick a date for that one of when we can actually break it, but that one's definitely coming up soon. But basketball, yeah, I mean, hanger boxes, mega boxes, in the description it says, but it's like a Target mega box, a Walmart mega box. Yeah, so there's 3 mega box. Oh, I'm sorry, that one actually, it shouldn't say 1 Blaster Mega. It should say 1, Blaster Box. So there's some decent stuff in there. Hope it sells out. But if it doesn't sell out and you show up, any team that doesn't, sell will be auctioned off in the live when we go live. So Barger said, Derek Johnson rookie, nice. So jump on. Hey man, come on in, Mike. We do. I mean, people. We do what we can do. Oh, William Spencer. Was that a real person? Did I kill somebody who I shouldn't have killed? Oh well.
No, it was me.
Oh. Obaji from Kansas. But we do a bunch of giveaways in our breaks. We'll pick out some basketball cards and we will
Probably be giving away TGT slab.
Oh, nice.
With a former MVP.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So we'll we'll treat everybody right. We'll do what we got to do. We will we'll do the best we can by everybody, and make sure that everybody has a good time and everything. So yeah, so check that out. Again, it'll end Saturday, starting at I think 2:00 Eastern time is when the first team will come off the board. Then it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Every other team after that. So in case you would like to, in case you'd like to get in, there's the store on eBay. And if you look, if you're on YouTube, if you look in your description, there's also a link to it, and you can click on that link, and it will take you right there. I don't do you don't do breaks on here. We don't Bogarts because unfortunately, the 2 or 3 that we tried to do beforehand, we couldn't sell them out, and we had to cancel 1 or 2 of them. We had to delay one of them, by, like, a whole 'nother week. So, unfortunately, what we found, we tried an eBay one, and every team sold out, every single person, everybody paid, everything was good. And, not that people weren't paying when we tried to run them either, through advertising through YouTube or Instagram. It's just that we were not getting the people. Our audience was not big enough for us to um, sell out. I mean, we had one where luckily we had one guy come on and bought, like 6 or 7 teams, from that standpoint. Do we have a Facebook card page? Mike, can you answer that question?
Yeah, scrolling down at the bottom right there.
Yeah,
Little
we do.
card.
And we're not smart enough to post there. um, we haven't tried that. Again, a lot of it has to do with audience, Bogarts. I mean, um, I think when we tried our first couple breaks of not going through eBay, I believe we put them on our Facebook page and everything, and we just unfortunately, um, we just couldn't get. You do sell a ton on Facebook. Oh wow! In different groups or your own group. But like I said, for us, we've tried. We've tried the Discord thing. We've posted in Discords. We've done a lot of different things and stuff. And like I said, we got zero traction. Zero traction. So we'll see. Maybe if we can put some singles, put some other stuff out there on the Facebook page and get some people coming in and trying and everything, we could go from there. But we will definitely look into it, Bogarts. I understand. eBay's not for everybody. Uh, eBay's not for everybody, and we understand that. And we'll see about we would try all things. Don't get me wrong, we would love to, I'd love to not go through eBay and pay their fees and stuff and try and get around that. Like I said, with us, we just, when we were only selling 5-10 teams, for breaks, and we just couldn't do it. And we weren't even, we were just getting commitments for the breaks, because we wouldn't have anybody pay until the break sold out. And then if it sold out, then we'd ask people to pay.
Yep.
But
that's the link to our Facebook group up there right above.
just got to put that in the description of our videos too, Bang. Well, alrighty. Let's go ahead and wrap this sucker up. We've been on here for a little more than an hour. And we appreciate everybody who has been here tonight. Okay. Oh. Can I promote a sale for tomorrow? Of course you can, Matt. Of course, of course, of course. What do you got, Matty? You've been here all night. You should have jumped on the link.
Streamlard link is up in the chat somewhere.
If you want to do it live, Matty, come on. You can come on for, if you only want to come on for a few minutes.
There, the link is pinned there in the YouTube chat if you want to hop on and
Facebook
Play it
Marketplace
face to
does
face.
shipping now too. My wife does around 20% of her sales on there. Very nice. I'm a reseller also, Mike. You can't see it, but back there are
Yeah, I know
are a
you are.
bunch of bins. Huh?
I know you are.
Yeah. Not you, Mike. Aldridge. Lamarcus's cousin. What do you got, Maddie? Maddie.
You know, maybe he likes just being called Matt.
Sorry, Matthew. Oh no, Matt's like, screw you. I'm getting on. I know ain't no way in hell. I'm just typing all that stuff.
How's it going?
Great. How are you? Welcome.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
up?
I'm good with Maddie. It's all good. That's what Hollis calls me. That's what gosh, Dom calls me. There are so many people call me Maddie, so it's all good. Yeah, so we're just gonna have our typical Friday night sale on the Beasts channel tomorrow at 7:30. So yeah, he'll be set. You know, the Beast always has ridiculous deals, and I'll see what I can put together. So
Yeah, I tell you, I give yeah. You know, John. You know, it's funny. John is what's cool about John is he has his PC guys, and then everybody else. It's like he doesn't really like just hold on to other players.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
start getting like that.
I need to be like that. I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have, a couple of 3,200 card count boxes of stuff.
I
mean, of guys that I would like don't even
It's
want to do
crazy.
anything with.
Yeah, I have thousands of cards I need to get rid of. It's nuts. That's because I'm doing this. So yeah.
Well, cool.
It's crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, well, thank you for letting me mention it real quick.
Oh, you're always welcome, man. Always welcome.
Are you gonna be on there tomorrow, Dad?
I have to see. John told me I can if I want to. I mean, I may pull some stuff together and join you guys tomorrow.
Do it for sure. I like it when more people are on there, because if not, I have to be like Johnny on the spot. Like, it's like, Matt, you got something.
Yeah.
Like, no, John, I'm not ready yet. So, yeah.
And it's funny, because I did that. Anthony Pittsburgh. I don't know if you know him, but they used to have their Sunday sale, and I jumped on a couple times. I jumped on once with them, and it was good because there were 3 different people. So it really was, so when one guy, so it's like, okay, I would sell, and whoever was going next, would be gathering, and the person who just sold would be watching the chat, for counting down and so on and so forth. So it really does give everybody a chance to put some stuff together.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know who else will be on tomorrow night. Maybe Rocky from Rad and Dad and Airsby Dog. Yep, he might be there. Big Ray, maybe. I don't know. Big Ray's, he said he's not feeling too great, so we'll see.
So David, let me go ahead and
I got it.
You got the Beast channel?
Yep.
All right.
Good question, David.
We will it's going to go in the chat.
Got my Hoosier shirt on after that epic Michigan collapse today against my team.
Were you wearing your red and white pants?
No, but I do have them. So.
Right there.
I might have to wear them tomorrow, although I have to go into work, so I won't be wearing them at work.
Right there, David. That's the channel you can go to. You definitely sub to John, because I mean he does, he does the breaks on his channel. He does he does the sales with Matt and everything, and I'm looking to start to join. And John, he gets a lot of, he buys the more expensive boxes, right? So he'll get that, hey, I got this card, it'll be $100, it'll be $150, $200. I don't. So my cards will be more like, hey, we'll start at $1, we'll start at $2 and see what happens from there.
Yep, that's my lots. Typically, I start out like $5, but it's normally because there's like 20 cards.
Right, you do bigger lots of cards,
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Well, so you got something to get ready for tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, yep. But speaking of which, talking about the basketball, the Jayhawks won. Anyway, well, how about? Do you see the ending of that Boston College Miami game?
No, what
Oh
happened?
my goodness! Boston College goes down. The tie game, going for the final shot. They can't get the shot off. They have a turnover. They're not watching one of the guys outlet pass a layup at the buzzer to lose the game. A layup.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, the guy there was nobody within 8 to 10 feet of the guy. He was that wide open for just a left-handed layup off the glass. Bang!
Wow!
Time went off. It was crazy.
Crazy. Yeah,
definitely crazy. So
I saw that. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's more games going on now. I know Iowa scored a Big Ten tournament record against Northwestern.
Oh wow!
116 points, I want to say, something like that. They hit so many threes, it was ridiculous.
That's big for a college game.
Just
That's huge for a college game.
Yeah, they just lit them up. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
Well, very cool, very cool, very cool. Well, thanks for hopping on, Matt. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everybody. Again, the Beast, check that out over there. Definitely a good place to go ahead and get some cards. Again, you got our break on eBay. It's basketball break. And even if you don't want to get into basketball, you're not into basketball and you want baseball coming. We've already decided baseball is the next one we're doing. And like I said, it's going to be that's going to be a big one. That's probably going to be, I don't know, probably 12 to 14 boxes more than likely of a lot of stuff that we got to get rid of. So thanks a lot. Appreciate everybody. Matt's Midwest, he's in the chat. Don't forget, look up his name, do a search, and subscribe to his channel too. And we'll see you guys next week. We'll be right here. Hopefully, though, we'll see some of you tomorrow night. I'm sorry, Saturday night at the break. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great one.
See ya.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.